Disney's Snow White remake has become the company's worst nightmare. The film has reached a humiliating new low, sealing its place as the worst-rated Disney release of the decade.
Disney is trying to make their Snow White reboot disappear. They're pulling it from theaters, removing merchandise from shelves, and hoping you forget it ever existed. This might be the biggest Disney princess failure of all time. Let's talk about those empty theaters first. Imagine walking into a movie theater during primetime and finding nobody there. Not a small crowd, not just a few people, nobody. That's exactly what happened with Snow White. One fan posted a video walking into a weekend showing and counted 0 people in the audience. The seats were so empty you could have played soccer in there. Theater owners started begging Disney to let them stop showing the movie. Some didn't even wait for permission. They just replaced Snow White with anything else they could find. One theater even switched it out for an old shark movie instead. When theaters would rather show almost anything else, something went terribly wrong. The money problems were just as bad. Snow White cost over $200 million to make, but couldn't even reach $100 million at the box office in America. Even worse, an old Disney movie from 2002, Lilo and Stitch, made more money in one weekend than Snow White did in weeks. Then the Minecraft movie showed up and completely destroyed Snow White's numbers without any drama or controversy.
Everyone who hates when I win, the winged victory came to the Louvre in pieces, and people still line up to see her. And I can only hope that despite my flaws, and despite my cracks and my breaks, and there are many of them, people will wait in line to see.
The Minecraft movie gave people exactly what they wanted. Fun entertainment without any lectures. While Snow White struggled to fill seats, Minecraft broke records. What makes this even more embarrassing is that Minecraft was expected to fail. Industry experts predicted it would flop. Instead, it became one of the biggest surprise hits, while Snow White became one of the biggest surprise failures. The merchandise situation became a joke, too. Disney created limited edition Snow White dolls, shirts, and toys, but months later, these items still fill clearance shelves with massive discounts. Many stores had to mark them down by 70% just to clear space. Store employees started posting pictures of the lonely Snow White dolls that nobody wanted to buy. Some even joked that the dolls were forming unions because they'd been on the shelves so long. One toy store manager said they'd never seen Disney products sit unsold for so long. Even online retailers couldn't move the merchandise. Websites slashed prices again and again, but couldn't find buyers. For a company that built its empire on selling princess merchandise, this was a shocking twist.
Talking about Snow White, because Disney's Snow White remake, the box office has suffered a 66% drop in the second weekend of showing. So the film's flop could end up costing Disney millions of dollars. We know that the movie is currently one of the lowest IMDb rated movies of all time, receiving a 1.6 out of 10 rating. It's generated.
Behind the scenes, things weren't any better. Gal Gadot, who played the evil queen, talked about problems during filming without directly naming anyone. She mentioned not having good teamwork, which many people saw as a hint about issues with other cast members. When asked directly about working with Rachel, Gal gave the kind of answer that says everything without saying anything. She said she would talk about that when I feel comfortable. In Hollywood, that's code for there's drama, but I can't legally discuss it yet. Meanwhile, Andrew Burnap, another star in the movie, skipped the premiere completely. He didn't show up for photos, interviews, or red carpet events. This only added to rumors that the cast didn't get along during filming. His absence was noticed by everyone. Rachel Zegler, who played Snow White, made things worse before the movie even came out. In interviews, she criticized the original Snow White story. She even joked that some of her co-stars' scenes might get cut from the movie. Not exactly the way to build team spirit. And guess what? They did get cut. This created even more bad feelings among the cast.
$143 million globally to date, which is well short of the $250 million that Disney has spent producing the film, and that doesn't even include the marketing expenses.
It's hard to build excitement for a movie when the actors themselves don't seem excited about it. Fans picked up on the negative energy surrounding the film. What made Rachel's comments worse was their timing. She made them during press events meant to promote the movie. Instead of creating excitement, she created controversy. Marketing teams watched in horror as their star undermined their campaign. The fallout kept spreading. Disney had been planning a live-action version of Tangled next, and rumors said Rachel might play Rapunzel. After the Snow White disaster, Disney quietly canceled those plans. The project simply vanished from their schedule without explanation. The company decided to change direction completely rather than risk another failure. When a studio cancels a billion-dollar princess movie, you know they're running scared. This shows how deeply Snow White's failure affected Disney's future plans. Industry experts say Disney lost confidence in their live-action remake strategy. After years of success with movies like Beauty and the Beast and The Lion King, Snow White forced them to reevaluate everything. They're reportedly rethinking their approach to these remakes. The most awkward moment happened when Rachel showed up to a special screening of her own movie, carrying flowers. She walked into a theater with almost no one there. Pictures of her holding flowers in an empty theater spread across the internet faster than any official movie poster. People started calling it Snow White and the Seven Empty Rows. It was meant to be her victory lap, but turned into an embarrassing meme instead. The photos became a perfect symbol of how badly the movie had failed. Social media had a field day with the images.
As a good reporter, I went to check it out myself yesterday here in Shanghai. Now, including myself and my friend, the entire IMAX cinema had just 5 audience members. And that is despite Disney going all out in the promotion of the film here in China. There was even a poster in the elevator at my apartment complex.
What should have been a celebration became a painful reminder of the movie's failure. Rachel smiled for cameras in a nearly empty room, holding flowers meant for an adoring audience that never showed up. It was the kind of moment no actor ever wants to experience. Critics and viewers both turned against the movie. Review sites showed some of the lowest scores ever for a Disney princess film. Professional reviewers called it misguided and joyless. Audiences weren't just disappointed, they were angry. Many felt the movie lectured them instead of entertaining them. People complained that it tried too hard to be modern while losing the magic that made the original special. The gap between what Disney thought people wanted and what they actually wanted created a perfect storm of rejection. Parents who brought their children hoping for Disney magic left frustrated. Kids who expected enchantment found boredom instead. The film failed to connect with any audience, young or old. It satisfied neither those looking for nostalgia nor those wanting something new. Now, Hollywood insiders say Rachel might be facing career problems. Directors seem nervous about casting her after all this drama. Agents are scrambling to fix damaged reputations. What should have been her breakout role became a career setback instead. Studios that were once eager to work with her are reportedly hesitating. The phrase box office poison has been whispered in executive offices. Fair or not, Hollywood often blames the face of a failure rather than those behind the scenes who made the decision. Even comedy shows like The Simpsons and Family Guy are working on episodes making fun of the whole situation. When you become the punchline for cartoons, you know things have gone really wrong. South Park writers reportedly have a full episode planned around the disaster. The impact extends beyond just one actress or one movie. Disney's entire princess brand took a hit. Their stock price dropped when the box office numbers came in. Investors started asking tough questions about the future of Disney's live-action strategy. The big question remains, can Disney recover from this mess? Can Rachel's career bounce back after being the face of such a spectacular failure? For a company that built its empire on fairy tales, this story certainly doesn't have a happy ending. What makes this situation unique is how quickly Disney seems to be distancing itself from the movie. Usually, studios defend their failures, or at least try to spin them positively. With Snow White, Disney appears to be pretending it never happened. Their social media accounts stopped mentioning the film.
Move on to lighter news now, and a news that will surprise, well, none of us. Disney's live-action remake of Snow White is officially one of the biggest flops in Hollywood history.
Press releases focus on upcoming projects instead. It's as if they're trying to erase Snow White from their history, hoping audiences will forget along with them. What happened to Snow White shows how even the biggest studios can completely misread what audiences want. Disney spent hundreds of millions trying to reinvent a classic story, but ended up with empty theaters and unsold toys instead. The failure also proves that brand power alone isn't enough anymore. Just putting Disney and Snow White together doesn't guarantee success. Audiences have become more selective, more vocal, and more willing to reject products that don't meet their expectations. Sometimes the magic just doesn't work, and not even the fairest of them all could save this disaster. Will Rachel Zegler find her way back to stardom, or will Snow White be the role that defined her career? Only time will tell. For now, Disney executives are left wondering how they spent $200 million on a princess movie that nobody wanted to see, and somewhere in Hollywood, a young actress is learning the hard lesson that in show business, one bad apple can spoil the whole bunch. That's all for today's video on the Snow White disaster. If you enjoyed this breakdown, make sure to smash that like button and leave a comment below with your thoughts. Do you think Rachel Zegler can bounce back from this? Or is her Disney career over for good? Subscribe for more Hollywood breakdowns, and I'll see you in the next video.